Right now, your heart is beating. Your lungs are filling with air. Your brain is creating the experience you call you. But one day, all of that will stop. Death is the one experience every human will eventually face. Over 100 billion people have already died throughout human history. Kings, scientists, soldiers, children. Every single one crossed the same line. Yet despite all of our technology, nobody can tell us exactly what happens after death. But science can tell us what happens during the first few seconds, the first few minutes, and even the first few hours. Some of those discoveries are fascinating, others are disturbing, and a few have left scientists completely puzzled. Let's go through it. Second by second, the moment your heart beats for the last time, everything changes. Blood stops moving through your body. Your organs immediately begin running out of oxygen. The organ that suffers first is your brain. Within about 10 seconds, you lose consciousness. You don't slowly fade away. It's more like someone flipping off a light switch. From the outside, doctors call this clinical death. But here's something most people don't know. Clinical death isn't always permanent. Thousands of people have been brought back after their hearts completely stopped. And many of them came back with stories that sound almost impossible. People from different countries, different religions, different cultures describe remarkably similar experiences. Some say they floated above their own body. Others watched doctors trying to save them. Many describe moving through a dark tunnel toward an incredibly bright light. Some even report seeing loved ones who had already died. The strangest part? Most describe feeling completely peaceful. No fear, no pain, and no panic, not just calm. Scientists call these near-death experiences, or NDEs. They've been studied for decades, but nobody agrees on exactly why they happen. Some researchers believe the dying brain creates vivid hallucinations. Others think chemicals released during cardiac arrest produce these experiences. And some scientists admit they simply don't know. Then researchers discovered something even stranger. For years, scientists believed the brain shut down almost immediately after the heart stopped. But newer studies tell a different story. In some patients, researchers detected sudden bursts of organized brain activity after cardiac arrest, not random electrical noise. Activity that looked surprisingly similar to waking consciousness. It's almost as if the brain suddenly becomes incredibly active. One final time. Nobody knows why. Some scientists think it's the brain trying desperately to survive. Others believe it could explain why some people remember incredibly detailed experiences after being revived. Whatever the answer, the brain doesn't always go silent immediately, and that's something nobody expected. There's another mystery. Can you still hear after you've been declared dead? Believe it or not, some doctors think hearing may be one of the last senses to disappear. Several people who survived cardiac arrest later described conversations that happened while they appeared completely unconscious. Researchers are still investigating whether the brain can process sounds for a short time after consciousness is lost. It's one reason medical teams often continue speaking calmly to patients during resuscitation, not because they know the patient can hear, because they can't prove they can't. Eventually, without oxygen, the brain begins shutting down permanently. Neurons stop communicating, thoughts disappear, memories stop forming. Your senses fade away one by one. According to modern medicine, this is biological death. But even then, not every part of your body dies at the same time. Some skin cells continue living for hours. Certain bone cells survive even longer. Even after you're gone, millions of tiny parts of your body are still alive, just not together anymore. Then nature quietly takes over. Inside your body live trillions of bacteria. During life, your immune system keeps them under control. After death, that control disappears. The bacteria begin breaking down tissue from the inside. It's a natural recycling process. Everything that once kept you alive eventually returns to the earth. Contrary to popular belief, your hair and nails don't continue growing after death. Instead, your skin slowly shrinks as it loses moisture. That makes the hair and nails appear longer. It's an illusion. Just another myth that science eventually explained. But here's where science reaches its limit. It can explain what happens to your body. It can measure brainwaves, heartbeats, blood flow, cells, organs. But it cannot answer one enormous question. What is consciousness? Why does a collection of billions of brain cells create you? Scientists still don't fully understand how consciousness works. And if we don't completely understand consciousness during life, it's incredibly difficult to explain what happens to it after death. That's why the debate continues. Some people believe consciousness ends completely. Others believe it continues in another form. Many religions offer different answers. Science hasn't confirmed any of them, and that's okay. Some questions remain unanswered. Humans have wondered about death for as long as humans have existed. Ancient Egyptians built pyramids because of it. Greek philosophers debated it. Buddhist monks meditate on it. Modern scientists study it. Despite thousands of years of searching, the biggest mystery remains exactly that, a mystery. Maybe one day, technology will give us better answers. Maybe it won't. But perhaps there's something even more important than knowing what happens after death. Understanding what happens before it, every laugh, every sunrise, every conversation, every meal, every person you've ever loved, exists only because you're alive to experience it. Death reminds us that life is limited, and maybe that's exactly what gives life its value. One day, every single one of us will discover the answer to humanity's oldest question. But until then, the mystery remains. And perhaps that's what makes it so fascinating. Like and subscribe for more.